Hey, it's me, Maggie J, with a quick little video about a brand new show on NBC called The Courtship, where one beautiful lady with a capital L is looking for her beloved amongst a group of 16 suitors who have all agreed to go through a proper courtship procedure, like back in the 1800s. I'm sure that it will not be exact, especially when they open a show with a violin rendition of Don't Stop Believing. But they are in a horse-drawn carriage and staying in a full-on Palace of Versailles looking place. And they are in period dress, so they are trying. Let's meet the main character. Her name is Nicole Remy. She is 26, has a BS from USC in geodesign, is a former cheerleader for the Seattle Seahawks, and is currently a software engineer living in the state of Washington. Obviously, the show is trying to be different from all the other dating shows around, and this one has a big twist right off the jump. Nicole will not be going through this journey alone. Her whole family is here. Mr. and Mrs. Remy, her sister, Danny Baker, and her best friend, Terry Cleary, make up the members of her court, and they get limited approval on who she spends time with. I am surprised by how little airtime the court is given throughout the first episode, which is likely good for Nicole because that means they're more here to support her rather than cutting up on camera and dropping convenient one-liners to spice up the advertisements. Between you and me, when are we going to see this guy's dating show? Holy cow. Most good-looking butler in reality TV history? Probably. And look at how she looks at him like, are you suitor number one? Sadly, no. His name is Mr. Edwards, and he's got a tray full of letters from the actual suitors. So her and her court read through the notes that the guys have written themselves and get some good laughs out of what these jokers have said. Mr. Edwards eventually lets them know that the guys will be arriving soon and they'll all be attending the ball to get to know everyone better. Then the guys start to arrive. Some are on horses, some are in carriages, some arrive alone and others in pairs. All of them are dressed very impeccably, and some of them are really leaning into the Regency style, and others are just playing along. Mr. Edwards spends a few minutes making small talk with each of them.
I want to see water. Water? Water. 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 Water.
And calls them all by their last name, so it's very posh, but still mostly cringe. Reality TV guys are always so extra when they introduce themselves. Like, women show up and they just wear a gorgeous dress and say their name and what they do, and then like that's it. Their job is over. But dudes, maybe because they're all wearing the same thing, or maybe because they're trying to stand out so much, a lot of them overdo it here in this portion, which makes it hard to watch sometimes. Luckily, it is only a few minutes, and no one from the court is watching any of this. Then the guys are taken into the ballroom and find a room full of people having a ball. Mr. Edwards introduces the court, made up of the family and friends of the lady, which is not what these guys were expecting either. Where's the girl? She's not here yet, so y'all get comfortable with the Remy family and Miss Cleary and make good impressions because they'll likely be deciding who gets to spend some extra time with Nicole tonight. And then finally, here she is, making her debut in a beautiful red dress and telling these guys how happy she is that they're here with her. The sister introduces her to Mr. Chapman, who is a bit awkward, but very good looking. He rushes in to tell her that he wants to fall in love, which she doesn't know how to respond to, so they kind of come to a natural closing, and then another guy sidles right on up and introduces himself as Mr. Castronovo, and then drops some Italian on her before letting her get away with a smile on her face. Mr. Echevarria has warmed up to Mr. Remy, Nicole's father, so they spend a few minutes talking until the doctor guy interrupts. He brings an apple with him and opens with a goofy line like, if you don't want to keep the doctor away, just throw it over there, which does lead her to guess that he's a doctor. But it feels like he's using his title to separate him from the other dudes instead of letting his personality lead the way. But whatever you gotta do to last through the first few rounds of a dating show, I get it. I don't like it, but Okay. Finally, they get to dancing, which I think is a better icebreaker than just, here's a guy that I like talking to. Now you talk to him. Nicole actually laughs a lot with Mr. Safa, the long-haired blonde guy. Mr. Ward mentions he should make a TikTok of him dancing like this in his Regency-style clothes, and I already don't like him. He mentioned in his opening bio that he's a former baseball player or something, and he's now an online content creator. I immediately think that he's only on the show to increase his own reach, and that he's mentioned it like 3 times now after being on camera about 3 times now, and after telling the sister this Regency era stuff. You gotta break out of it at some point. He is not here for the courtship. He's here to get more famous. And I think Nicole is on the same wavelength as I am, because she mentions that he is not giving her the type of conversation that she's expecting. Kick him out now. I'm already annoyed. A London boy tries to open a line of dialogue, but this Mr. Bocciccio interrupts and completely steals her away, and the Londoner just lets him. Bro, you don't just back off at this stage. She was into your accent, and you let some guy with nothing to say steal your moment. Shame, shame. Suddenly, she is upstairs with the very adorable Mr. Cones. This is the guy whose letter she loved at the beginning, who talked about them eating a ton of food together and then needing Tums and belly rubs afterward. She laughed a ton and it was like, he is made for me, which is a good sign. So while they're upstairs talking, she pulls him in close to smell his cologne because he like sprayed it on the letter. And she even rubs his belly a little bit. I feel sparks are flying with this one. And he is my favorite because they've already got an inside joke. And she picked out that it was him after just reading the note. So I think there's something there. This is exactly what I mean when I say lead with your personality. This guy is already 3 steps ahead of everyone else in the room because he was himself when all he had was a letter written in cursive to a woman he hadn't even met yet. That's courtship. Mr. Edwards lets the court know that they can choose 6 suitors to join Nicole in a quieter setting. I can't be fussing with names right now, so they picked Captain Kim, the long-haired blonde, the content creator, the doctor, and 2 guys that we have not met yet. The conversation goes pretty well. There's plenty of sexual attention around and lots of laughing. And the passive aggressiveness between the guys is almost imperceptible, which is great. After this get-together, Mr. Edwards lets Nicole know that she gets to choose 1 suitor that she can spend some one-on-one time with, which doesn't seem very Regency, but go find your guy. And she chooses the interrupter, Mr. Bocciccio. They head outside where there's this little sofa and champagne situation is set up, and the setting and the scenery is just beautiful with a castle in the background. Oh my goodness. And the conversation is mostly good between them 2. You can kind of tell that he wants to like fly off in 15 different directions just so that he can tell her so much about himself as fast as he can. But where do you start? But Nicole takes it very easy on him and tells him she picked him because she likes the way that his eye contact makes her feel and how she feels now while holding his hand. She likes that feeling. And then these fireworks start going off all over the castle and they kiss and it is picture perfect. I don't know if maybe this is just the way Nicole looks at all these men, but she looks like she is really into him. And at the end, he is blushing so hard while doing his little exit interview, and it is so cute. So the choosing who gets to stay portion is next, and Nicole is told she gets to pick 6 names, but only 3 of them will be staying. Surprisingly, she picks a lot of the same guys that her court put her in the small group date with, so that's interesting. The first guy eliminated is the content creator. Thank goodness Nicole is smart and recognized he was not there for her. The second guy eliminated is Mr. Echevarria, who seems like such a sweet guy. I know he will find someone just because he is such a softie. Then it comes down to the doctor and the blonde. I thought that she had decent interactions with the blonde guy, but she says that he's giving her more LOLs than the romantic feelings that she's looking for, so she tells him to be a little bit more serious about this. The doctor dude was coming on way too strong the entire time and was a bit over the top with his doctor references and trying to like connect with her mom. He even whipped out a necklace at the end of their little dance here, and it told her it's a rose quartz to wear close to your heart for clarity, and I don't fucking know. I understand why he's here and why he's going home. If he could dial down some of the I'm very important vibes, he might be kind of cool to hang out with. But he's just got the one note, and he is playing it as loud as he possibly can every chance that he gets. Instead of waiting for a natural opening in which it would be okay to discuss professions amongst the group. Do you even know what she does, doctor? Versus how many times you told her what you do? Yeah, so for once, I am absolutely in agreement with all of the decisions made by the reality person in charge here. Great job, Nicole. Great job, guys. Great job, Court. I am liking this show so far, but there's a lot that can go wrong during a whole season of reality dating, so I can only hope that it will keep up the momentum and keep the courtship interesting. Unfortunately, if Nicole is as good at dating as I think that she is, it's going to be really boring because she's going to get rid of all the fuckboys right away and probably just go ahead and go home with Mr. Cole. Yeah. Colton? Colson. Corton? Corn. Anyways, let me know who your favorite suitor is, or if you think that Nicole made a bad choice with who she kept, or just leave me a like if you're into the show, and maybe subscribe if you want to see me talk more about the stuff that I watch on TV. Thank you so much for watching. That is all that I have to say for now. I'm not sure if I'll be back next week or in a few weeks to talk about this one. It all depends on how much they give me to talk about, I guess. But anyways, until next time, y'all stay safe out there.